Da Nang is the third largest city in Vietnam, located in the central coast, where the country is the narrowest. Here, it is only 100 kilometers from the ocean to the border with Laos. Yet, with beaches, mountains, and river flats, this region is full of beautiful scenery. If there is one picture that represents Da Nang, it would probably be the 67-meter-tall marble Guanyin statue visible from the entire coast. Guanyin is the Chinese female Buddha of compassion, who helps the poor and the suffering. It signifies the deep Chinese cultural influences we noticed all around, and the generous and helpful spirits of the people we met. Therefore, as soon as we got a scooter, we went to visit it. The ride was scenic, along the coast and up into the hills, and we got to hang out with some monkeys. The statue is huge up close, so tall that falcons were nesting up on her hands. The statue was free to visit, yet the grounds were well kept and decorated with many beautiful and probably very expensive bonsai. Therefore, there must be a devout and generously donating following. The best northern viewpoint of entire Da Nang coast is here, at the feet of Guanyin. Another iconic site of Da Nang is the Marble Mountains. To the south of this otherwise flat city, there are just 5 steep mountains, as if a giant just plopped them down there. Locals claim that each symbolized a different element of nature: fire, water, earth, metal, and wood. There are many beautiful caves in these mountains, some grand while others small. The religious have chiseled many images of Buddha inside these caves, as well as some knee-buckling steep stairs connecting heaven to the 18 levels of hell. We found the hell especially vivid with the unique representation at each level, though they all have one message.
Life is pain, Highness. Anyone who says differently is selling something.
If you are physically fit, yes, even we underestimated these not-so-tall hills. The stairs are pretty steep. You can climb to the top and have the best view of entire Da Nang coast from a southern vantage point. The most culturally famous site near Da Nang is probably the little ancient town of Hoi An, just 40 minutes south. Walking around this World Heritage Site, you get a glimpse of the old architecture that has both Chinese and Western influences. The old city layout with narrow, moss-covered alleys threw us back in time. The city is well preserved from its glory days as a trading post, dating back to the 16th century. It is also famous for its lanterns, as the city is nicknamed the Lantern City. Every full moon, the city celebrates the lantern festivals with food, games, and candle wreaths that light up the waterways. We didn't get to see the lantern festivals, but still got to marvel at the many crafts the city vendors had on display. We also got to try out some local snacks, such as fried banana pancakes and rolled ice cream. The city now feels a bit like a tourist trap, but is beautiful nonetheless. The most tourist trap place near Da Nang is probably the Bana Hills. You can find online plenty of pictures of this oddly European castle-styled resort on top of a mountain about an hour west of Da Nang, and its famous giant handheld golden bridge. You would have seen as much as we have, since we chose to avoid the tourists and took the long way to explore the backside of the mountain. It was the most beautiful ride on our scooters, as we traversed through rice fields, and quiet little villages, where we filled up gas with old-style gas pumps. There were gorgeous river valleys and winding mountain roads. We saw old-style huts and ancestral shrines. The ride was safe and peaceful, as few cars or scooters were on the road. There are the occasional towns where we would get our fill of boba tea or coffee. Our final destination was the Abisu Onsen Resort, the perfect place for some relaxation after a long ride. There are many naturally heated and beautifully designed pools, with temperatures varying from comfortably heated to boil me like an egg. The resort also had a water park that I'm sure was crowded in the summer, but since it's January, it was too cold for the Vietnamese, so the lifeguards had to turn on the water features just for us crazy Americans. You're usually not the resort type, but even my mother thinks that this resort stay was well worth the reasonable price. So come and visit Da Nang. It has a little bit of everything for you. Oceans, mountains, great food, culture, and even luxury.